Steve and I have Brian's 2015 Ford Escape, and we're getting ready to put an AC compressor on it. We'll show you what's involved in doing that. If you have any questions, subscribe to the channel. Here, what's going on, Brian? Leave a comment. Let me know that you subscribe to the channel, and I will reply back to you. Let's dive into this thing. Oh yeah, one more thing. This has a 2.0 EcoBoost.
Okay, so we got a 2015 Escape. We're going to do an AC compressor on it tonight. Made a big boom while Brian was driving it, and the Freon blew all out. So I got some 7mm screws here, and we got some button plugs we're going to take off. We're going to pull the skirt up out of the way and take the belt off. And there's not an adjustment on the belt. It's one of those belts that just rides over. We'll show you how to take that
Stretch
off.
belt.
Stretch Armstrong.
A small one.
Yeah, so this one.
Yeah. Okay, I get that one off. We got one up over here to get off. Okay, so we got this out, and so we're gonna see how much room we got by just rolling this back here. I don't know if we're gonna have enough. We're gonna take some more of this off here. Maybe these three off right here. Okay,
There you go.
this is gonna give us plenty of room now. Okay, so here's our stretch belt here. And you can see the front of the clutch of the compressor came off. And it let all the Freon go. So we've got to roll this thing over, and we're gonna get a nut, a socket with a ratchet, and we're gonna put the tool on. We're gonna try and roll this thing off right here. Because we didn't put the belt on very long ago. So we're gonna reuse the belt, but we're gonna change the compressor over here. And we got our plug for our compressor. It's right over here. And yeah, we'll show you what we gotta do. I gotta get in there with the mirror. I think that's the squeeze tab right there, but all right, so let's get the belt off first.
So when you're pulling the connector off, the tab's right here on the back side, on the front of the motor. So I'll put it on showing you where the tab is. The tab's right here. So you squeeze
and pull.
and pull up.
Okay, so we're gonna take the splash guard down. Brian's and doing this. It's held in place with some Torx bits.
Should be a T30. He's got a bit that's a little small, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Go around the front, Brian. You gotta get these.
Those are Phillips, I think.
So we have some Phillips in here because the screws stripped out. We use some bigger screws. I'll hold this up.
It's Brian's paper mache splash guard with the air scoop that goes absolutely freaking nowhere.
And that was the muddy road. I was doing 30 because I would have got
Actually,
stuck if I was
that
going
what happened.
slow.
Hold that up. So we insert a chipmunk there, and it comes blowing out this
Yeah.
the other end. He's gonna look at it. This is nothing. What a freaking useless freaking invention that is. Design.
What, it cools the turbo.
That's
No, that's what it's for.
So there's also another plug over here on the back of the compressor.
It's an X-rated one.
Slide that one off. It's a pressure relief one, I think. So, okay, we tuck that out of the way. Okay, so we've got, we're gonna lower it down, get the belt off, and then remove this hose. So it looks like the 3 bolts, you got 1, 2 here, and a third one here. And we're gonna extract this stud because we have to take these studs off. And man, I think this is like a 4mm. It's crazy. I had to find one not too long ago for another job I was doing on my mother-in-law's car. It's the same motor. But here's his compressor bolts right here for the this is where the lines are on. A couple of 13s. We're gonna crack those loose and we'll lift the line up. But we gotta find a socket that fits on that. So when we take the nut off, we have to extract this stud because you can't get the compressor out of the way. So first thing we want to do is we're just going to get the belt off and we'll come back to this in a minute.
So we just wanted to note too that the Freon is already out of the system on this thing, and there's nothing left in it. But if there is Freon in your system, then you have to have it professionally taken care of by a licensed AC person before you do this repair, right, Steve?
Yeah. I'm going to roll the belt off this thing.
So you
I'm gonna put my fingers in there or anything?
you put a socket on there. What kind of socket's on there, Steve?
It's a 21 millimeter.
Yeah.
We got this Gates tool that we got.
Yep.
It comes with a bolt, and I guess it does some different tools. So I just stick it on there, and then we're going to roll this thing, and we're going to try and get the belt to stop walking off of the thing. If it comes around, we'll put it back on again.
That worked like a charm.
Well, we want the belt for it.
You got it, Brian?
No.
No, he doesn't have it.
No.
You know why he doesn't have it? Because he doesn't have the tool on.
Yeah,
That's
huh?
why he doesn't have it. Okay?
See, if I didn't do what I did, it wouldn't have done what it just did.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
Whatever. Okay, so we get the belt off.
You might need a tool for the tool.
When we do put it on, we're going to basically
Why
do
I wanna
the
take
same
belt
thing.
off?
So,
Oh, Steve, you want the belt off or not?
okay, so we got, with that, we're going to put it up, and Brian already disconnected the plug over here. He showed you the connector to squeeze, you know, on this end right here. Right there, you squeeze that where your thumb is. Got that one off. We got the other one off. And he found the size of the socket. It looks like it's a 3/16 that's going to go on that stud. We're going to put that up right now.
I'm not going to be able to hold this too long.
Oh man.
Okay, so, all right, we're going to crack the nut loose, take the nut off, and then we'll get the socket on. So we got two 13s, and then we have that, the other one there, the 13 here, and then we're going to take the stud out. So before we go climbing into taking all of that off, we have to crack these 13 millimeter lines loose here for the manifold that goes on the compressor, and they feel like they're individual ones that go on here. So they're separate, they're not two separate ones. So let's go over and look at the new compressor and see, we'll show you. Okay, so we got our pressure switch down here, and we've got our clutch switch up here. So if the pressure is ever too high in the system, this is what shuts off the AC compressor. This plug here is what engages your clutch, and we've got two separate lines for the Freon here, and one of them is always bigger than the other one. The suction line is always larger than the discharge line. So this is going to be our suction line, low pressure, discharge is high pressure. So this compressor comes with 3 ounces of oil that's set in it. Compressors should have 5 ounces of oil in them. So we're going to throw a couple of ounces of oil in this, and then we're going to take a line off from the top, and we're going to put another ounce of oil running. We do it this way. We can put it up with the 3 ounces or add a little more into it on the suction side, or we could disconnect the line from up top and then pour the oil down that way. And we'll let you know which way.
How do we remember which side's the suction side, Steve?
It's the big one.
Sucks the big one.
Can we get the Uncle Vito subtitles in that explanation?
Absolutely.
So we got a 13 millimeter up here on the top. We're gonna try and get it to cut this line loose. All right, we got one crack here. It's a little tight. I'm pulling down on the hose to get on top of the stud here and crack it loose a little bit more. tough to get in here and see it. Motor drive socket ratchet setup here. I think I'm probably better off
Yeah.
this one. Get a lot more swings with it.
Got a deep socket. There's a small stubby ratchet.
Yep. Okay, get this one cracking loose, and I'm gonna go over and stop the other one.
Cooking will fire now.
Yeah. And then this other one here. Hope I have enough leverage to crack this one loose. It's a small ratchet, so. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we get that off. We can lift the tube up over. You gotta crack the thing first.
I did.
Cracked it up, right?
Yeah.
Why did you hit it with some penetrating oil?
I think I had to put it, I had to put a 3/8 drive adapter on it. All right, so I'm just gonna pull these up a little bit. Okay, so this one's up and off, and I can take the high side one. And the high side one, the line is tied on over here to something.
Is it?
Let's see here, what's we got over here?
Hey Steve, where's your penal trims?
Bring the light over here, Tom. So this is the high side line here, and it seems like it's secured to something. Maybe it's just stuck on the compressor. When we get the compressor out, we're going to change the two O-rings on it.
Okay.
So I've got them both loose right now, and they give you O-rings with the kit. So we're going to crack this 13 millimeter loose right now.
You just spray a little penetrating oil on this.
Brian cracked these loose earlier, so
What size socket's that?
13.
13.
I did that
Yeah.
while Jimmy was cracking corn.
I'm gonna get a little extension for up here. So we're gonna put a, I don't think you can crack it loose with that. I might need the adapter to go to 3/8.
It's stripping.
Okay,
Okay.
so we gotta get one that taps on tight. So we got an extension set up here to go on the top, with a 3/8 deep. I'll try and get this on there.
That one might come off still, right, Steve?
Well, I got the bottom one holding it, so.
You want the 2/13? I got it right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
It's
I got
coming.
it right here.
It's coming down.
It's coming,
Brian.
Brian.
Okay.
Mile long threads on it.
Just, yeah, there it goes.
So we push the hose aside, and we'll be able to get this thing down. Okay.
I'm really good at making things strip, so I didn't want to like, you
The
know,
man behind the mess.
I didn't want to be that guy today. You know, like Tony in the oil.
Oil master.
We're gonna pry this down. We think it's a little corroded right in here, so we're just gonna pry it so it slides down a little bit, and then see if we can get on this. These usually come out fairly easy. You got a nice little pry spot right there.
There it goes.
Yeah, it's coming down now, Brian. Okay, there it is.
goes.
It's loose. All right, so let's try.
You might be able to just slip it out of this, Steve, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, this will slip right up.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at Steve making us do extra work. over
Yeah.
there.
What the hell does Steve know?
I'm telling you. All right, yeah, what does Steve know? So, okay.
What's the, you can make fun of me when I'm
Let
wrong.
me see if this didn't crack.
I get to make fun of you if I'm right.
Hey, there it goes.
Let's just see though.
I'll leave the socket on there. I'll get him.
Just yank the freaking thing.
So he's gonna go work hard
Stop
right
being
now.
a puss about it.
He's working hard right now to get it
That's
off.
what my old man would say. Can you yank it out of there?
There's another hose connected here.
No, you got them both disconnected. There's only two on it.
Oh, all right. There.
Well, the hose connected to your head.
How are we looking?
You got about another inch and a
Can you
half.
push that hose up?
I can't push any hoses up. I would take the
I'm
stud
the
off.
camera guy. I ain't touching shit. I'm just here for pizza and beer.
Oh, you guys. I'm gonna catch a punch in the face by myself in the process.
Probably should have took that stud out.
I know, huh? seeing that it's digging into this hose here.
What does Steve know?
Slide it back up.
Oh, yeah, let's Steve know.
Slide it back up and take the stud off.
Come on, you
It
hoser.
would have been fine, if Steve.
How do you get your fat head my way?
Nice shortcut, Brian.
You're gonna have to catch the compressor out by yourself. I'm not helping.
I'm gonna put that.
Look at that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at how that comes out.
Jeez.
Strength and pulsation.
So we've got two sleeves here. We got one sleeve in there already. We got one down here. So Brian, we don't need those sleeves.
already in there?
They're already installed right here.
they really?
Right here. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So they gave us some extras.
That sleeve right there?
Yeah, right here.
Right down in there.
And you can see the original ones in over here and
Yep.
over here. So that's gonna go into an area. So we want to crack. We want to reuse our two studs right here. So we're gonna get our
Our new ones that come with the compressor.
Fantastic, yeah.
But you could crack those if you really want. Steve likes cracking the stud.
Yeah, so. Okay, so we're gonna take these two 13s off. All right, so like we said, the compressor's coming with 3 ounces of oil in it. So we're gonna leave the compressor with the 3 ounces. We're gonna take the line off from the top, and we're gonna drop 3 more ounces in on the low side. So that's the way we're gonna play it. And the compressors come with 3. A lot of times you can put 5 in it, but we'll go with the 3 that they have in it.
That's Brian's. We'll throw 6 in there for him.
Like Steve said, from the top.
Let's crank that one loose. And that one loose. Brian, they gave you some O-rings with the kit, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna go change those over onto the lines.
They also have this retainer.
That's the big gasket that we might be able to use that. That's probably what's on the line too. Is there 2 of them?
So this is what comes with it: an O-ring, bonded O-ring to metal, and then that.
Okay, so let's go. We can leave these just sitting here. So this is our larger one. That's the suction, and then this one here is the discharge side. So we can just sit the caps on so that when we put this up in place, we'll just take these off. And let's go over to Brian. He's going to show us what we got going on with the O-rings right now. I'll grab a pick and meet you guys over there.
2 seals on this one. There's a standard seal, and then there's this metal retainer seal, and this one points up towards the motor,
Peel that one off.
right?
And then we got the pick.
And then there's an inner one right there.
Yeah, so we'll do this first, suction line first. Okay, so we got the O-ring and all right, so you can use oil from the Freon, oil, the PAG oil for this, or you can use a little bit of dielectric grease. I have a little dielectric grease, I'm gonna go grab that and use that. So we'll put the O-ring on. We're actually gonna put this on first, then the O-ring. But I wanna get a little dielectric grease on this. So we're sliding this one on first. I put it on, you can line it. I put a little thin coat of dielectric grease on the O-ring as well. Okay, so we've got this one. Got the O-ring on there. The new one is green, the original is orange, that's okay. All right, now we gotta pick this orange one out. So this one looks like we can pick it out. Okay, it just comes out
You
like
can
that.
pick your
Then
friends, and
Brian's-
you can pick your
Brian's
hose.
gonna put a little dielectric grease here.
And you can pick your friend's hose, too.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay. All right, we got the
Kick you in the
seal.
nuts.
We got the seal back in here. We pressed it in. it's sitting in right. Okay, so that's good. The compressor has the new studs in it, so we'll be able to just push this stuff up out of the way as the compressor's going up in place. And we'll put a little penetrating oil in this hole so that stud runs up there really easy. We'll probably put a little lubrication on our bolts too. So let's get that done.
What are you doing, hose head? So we're just putting a little penetrating oil in these holes so that these bolts go in a little bit easier.
So we're putting the two studs into the compressor here. And they've got a little Loctite on them. And so we're going to tighten them up with the quarter drive setup here. And here's the socket. Nope, nope.
That ain't it.
The socket. Okay, so the new studs are a little larger. They're 7/32. They get some Loctite on them, so we're going to bottom these down. We're going to tighten up both of these, get them so that they're bottom down, and we'll put the caps back on so that we can slide it up in place and we won't be dropping any debris and anything.
I can hear Brian swearing and working over on the car. I think he's screwing shit up on us.
We're hoping for a short night tonight, Brian, not a long
Hey, get
night.
out of there.
Yeah. That's tight. And the 13s, they do fit. Okay, so let's get our line over here just to sit on that. And a line over here just to sit on that. All right, we got our bolts. Let's go get this thing bolted back on. All right, so we're just gonna push this thing up in place here. Get our bolts caught. I might have to move our lines around up here. I'm gonna see if I can catch one of these bolts first.
Is that all cut?
Okay, I got that one there. And then we're gonna move this. We've got our fittings. You can take these fittings and push them up. Okay, so we got that in place.
There you go.
Okay, you got it, Brian?
Yep.
I'm gonna just grab the other stud. Okay, so we'll tighten that one up. There it is. It's kind of rocky a little bit here. Okay. All right, we'll get that stud up there. Got this other bolt. We gotta push the hose up out of the way. Get that one to start. Try and start it with my fingers. But this has got the two bottom ones have the sleeves on them for the alignment dowels, so we can push it up and tighten it with that. All right, so we're just going to tighten this stud up right here. Till it bottoms, we're not cranking it, that's it. Okay, we're going to get the nut on it. And this nut should suck this thing up so that this thing pulls right tight into the, there it goes. Okay, we're gonna tighten everything by hand after. We'll get the extension set up. Let's tighten this one. Okay, we're gonna tighten these all by hand, right? That's tight.
I'm gonna use my torque wrench.
Oh, it's tight. That's tight. Okay, we're gonna connect this last. All right, so we're gonna go take these boots off that we had up here.
So we're just removing the caps that Steve
Yeah.
put on the cover so nothing fell down in there.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
And then we're gonna attach the lines.
Keep them on so the engine soiling doesn't.
Okay, so we got the first one here on the suction side. Let's get that one put on. Make sure the gasket stays aligned. Come on, you're almost there. Okay. All right, that one just popped right in. And then this one. All right, we get that one to pop right in. You can look up there with the mirror if you can't see well, but we can see. I'm gonna get the two nuts on those and we're gonna tighten those up right now. Okay, I get the first one on. We'll get this other one on right here. And it seemed to be easier to go over the top with the quarter drive ratchet. Make sure you catch these correct. Yeah, tighten it down nice. And these two nuts are the same exact size as this one here, same thing. I'm gonna get the quarter drive, we're gonna tighten them down now. Okay. All right, we're gonna end up getting the wrench in there at the end. Let me get the other, because I wanna make sure that they're good and tight and I'm not really getting too much leverage with this ratchet. Kind of getting good leverage on this side, on the other one I'm not. I get a stubby wrench in here. I gave it a good pull with that one. It's difficult to get the wrench in there. I think the wrench I had a little bit too much of an angle on the box end of it and wasn't really allowing. You know, with an extension, but it's tight, you know, with the oil filter in the way and everything, so those are tight now. We got our O-rings all changed on them. We can plug our connector back in right here. There was a little thing right here, but it doesn't look like it was ever plugged into anything. We're gonna look around for that because it doesn't, that little plug right there. So we just plugged the harness in. There's a hole right up here. See it right up in there?
Yep.
Right there. Okay, so we plug that in. So that's all set. That's plugged in. So coming around to this side over here, you know, we've got the compressor, and Brian couldn't wait, so he already plugged this in, guys. So
Okay.
that just plugs in. So we're gonna go and roll the belt on now, and then we can get the cover back on, and then we can go up and disconnect the AC line up there, which is going to be this line right here. You see it 13, and we're gonna lift up the coolant jug to get at it. Take that one nut off and separate that line right there.
Okay.
All right, so we got our belt, and we're gonna get it on the compressor groove good, and we're gonna go this way with it here. And I've got this.
Take two.
Yeah, take two. We got our belt. We get it on
In
the.
case you didn't see the first time.
You know, it'll probably roll over with just my finger. So let's see what
So you
happens.
put your finger between the pulley and the belt, is that what you're saying?
No, we don't want to do that. That's
Nope,
gonna
nope,
hurt.
nope, nope.
That's gonna hurt. All right.
Somebody, put your finger in it.
Boy, it went on a lot easier without Brian helping. I'll tell you that, all right?
Sure, freaking did.
You know what's
Jeez,
funny is
crackers,
that's,
huh?
I told him when he put it on the last time, I'm like, you don't need the tool to put it on, just to take it off.
Okay, so it's not on the compressor as nice as I would like, so we're gonna keep cranking.
You're gonna kind of walk it over.
Is it moving? I can push.
You gotta push it on the top here.
Is that helping?
Yeah,
There
You
you go.
good?
it's good. Okay, so you look, it's all on in the groove here now. It's in the center there.
So Brian would be happy.
Madonna would be happy.
Okay, all right, so we got that on, and we got the front compressor clutch plugged in, the back one plugged in. We double checked all our bolts, they're all nice and tight. And so we're gonna lower it down and we're gonna disconnect that AC line. And like I said, we're not sure if I have to take this bolt out for the jug here, so we're gonna wait. And we're gonna pour 3 more ounces of PAG oil in on the top, and then we'll get it ready to vacuum and charge. Okay, so we got the surge tank in the way here, and I'm trying to get down to my low side line right here. So we're gonna, the surge tank, we loosened it up already. It just has these slides that pop up here, and we've got one line on it over here. I'm gingerly gonna push it up out of the way over here. And I'm getting at this 13 millimeter right here. And I'm hoping that I have a little play in this line so that I can slide this bracket off. So I need my stubby 13 wrench again to get in here. Let me grab that.
Can I drop this oil in right now, or do you need?
He's seriously gonna have to do an oil change right in the middle of this video. Brian's got this. I'm gonna save the world bag of shit in his hands. Hey, because you use less plastic, can I have my plastic straws back?
Hey, oh, no funnel needed. No, you need a funnel with that.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a chocolate mess right here.
Yeah, he is.
Ready?
It's like a fucking bladder out of a cow. Ah, Jesus Christ.
He doesn't want to use a funnel.
No, we're on intermission, guys.
Doesn't want to take the bolt out tonight.
ADD Brian can't wait 2 seconds to change his oil. Should we tell him now we've replaced it with maple syrup?
How's your mimer? I hope.
Oh, man.
Get that freaking thing out of here.
Okay.
Oh, there's all that spillage that you guys were hoping that I'd
Yeah. Hey, you want to look like a football player?
That jug roll back over here. We got our 13 millimeter. Let me grab onto this line here. And I don't want to pull on this thing without putting some pliers on this or another wrench to hold that.
We're gonna meet on Thursdays.
So, okay, it's crack loose now. So take this off.
And you always need the extra quart. It's the 5-quart thing, and you need the 6th, and then that 6th quart is like
Take
$10.
the nut off.
Like you just saw me.
And we're going to try and pull the line back. It's flexible on this side without having to try and move that side. So,
And you know what? It's easy.
Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this at this point, you could bring your car down to your local licensed AC tech, and
Yeah.
they could do all this for you, right, Steve?
yep, so this has one of those special O-rings in there. So we're going to just put a little smidgen of dielectric grease on it. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to pour some PAG oil, 3 ounces, down into this. And this is the low side line. That's the side you always want to put your oil into, is the low side line. We're going to connect this back up. And here's our low side charge port right here. We'll take the fitting off now. We're going to connect our charge port to the low side, and here's our high side one right here. And we're going to vacuum it down, and so right now I'm going to go get the oil and pour the oil into this. So when we look at our oil here, right, these are great. This is our PAG 46, this is what it takes.
Where can you get that?
So you can get it at the local parts store, they have it.
Okay.
So what I like about it, it has the measuring thing on it. So right now we've got 17 ounces and we want to go 3 ounces. So we're going to stop right in the middle, right here. And that'll be our 3 ounces that we want. So we got 4 ounces here, that would be 14 in the middle. And so we want to just drop down into the middle here.
Okay.
And then, so right now we can just pour our oil right down into this line here. And remember, we started off at 17 ounces. We want to end up at 14.
Well, roof, I gotta, again, my other knee is bad. I guess I tore a meniscus not long ago. Tear my meniscus.
Just want to make sure I get it right. Okay, that looks pretty good. I can go with a smidgen more.
Yeah, I think you're just about there. You whisker more.
Okay, I'm good. Right there.
fucking so full, I couldn't do any more than this. I don't need wood. I couldn't do it.
Okay, I can take some of this oil that is now, you know, on my O-ring. So that's going to be fine to seal that up.
It was made out of planktons. It's a glowing green.
Okay, so, yeah, so. Now the green is dye that's put in there. So if you ever have a leak, you know, you're looking around your crimp fittings and stuff like that for leaks. So we're good now. All right, so I'm going to put this back down into place. Brian keeps moving my surge tank because he's still trying to do other things. So, okay, so, all right, we're going to slide this, line it up with the stud down here.
Brian, get the flashlight.
Where is it?
There it is.
Oh, right there. Behind, turn around. Turn around.
All right, I got it
Every
in.
now and then.
I just got it in.
Did you?
Okay, so we got that in. And we're going to get the nut back on there. And I'm not going to drop it.
Shut up, Ross Pro.
All right, I'm going to tighten it with the wrench, and then we're going to hold it with the pliers. Okay, hold it with the pliers. Okay, we got it nice and tight. Let's get the vacuum pump on it now and the gauges.
Anything right now, Steve?
Nope.
Alright, what are we doing?
Hooking the AC lines up right now.
Steve's a licensed AC guy.
Yep.
So that's not disclaimer, we can do this.
So I got my low side line on here. And I'm gonna hook my high side up over here. And we got the vacuum pump hooked up. And yes, that is an old school
Vacuum pump, that thing's starting to look old.
So we're gonna go plug this in.
Rather than trying to incorporate new words.
All the lights in the neighborhood are gonna dim when he does it.
This is a mobile.
Refrigerator, compressor.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But did you make that?
My friend John Finn made it.
No, nice.
Guy I used to work for.
It's good to have buddies like that.
Okay, so now we got the vacuum pump on. We got our lines tight. Now we're gonna open up and we're gonna watch this thing suck down. And we want the lines to suck down to about close to 30. Now my gauge is off a whisker, so it doesn't quite get to 30, it gets to about 27. And we're gonna let this vacuum down for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna come back, and Brian's gonna look up how much Freon it takes, and then we're gonna charge it.
But he's kind of like sitting on his ass, so.
Oh, wait a minute, it's right here. Look, it's a miracle.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Okay, so
Turn on the header panel.
2 liter is 27 ounces, 1.6. Brian, this is the 2 liter you said, right?
Yep.
So we're looking at 27 ounces of Freon, 1.69 pounds. And we have our scale, and we'll get set up and show you that. So you know that you have a tight system when you've already pulled down really quick like that.
Nice.
So now we gotta go 10 minutes, and then we'll close the valves, both of them, okay? And then we'll make sure that they don't creep. So 10 minutes, we'll close the valves, we'll wait a couple, 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes. And as long as you don't move, then you're good. And then we can charge it. So we've got the oil in it, we're vacuuming it, and then we're gonna put the Freon in.
So what's this actually doing? Sucking the air out of the system?
We're sucking the air out of the system.
Okay.
So now the system will be under a vacuum.
I gotcha.
So we're drawing a vacuum on the system, which gets all the moisture out of the system, gets all the air out of the system. So, you know, you guys see the charge things that they sell at the store for the low side, and I've always complained about them, and the only reason is that you don't know what the high side is doing. So when you're charging an AC system, it should be 2.5 times the ambient temperature on the high side. So if it's 70 degrees in here right now, it should be 70 and 70 is 140 plus 35. It should be 175 on the low side. So when you charge with those things at the store and you just squeeze the trigger, you don't know what the high side is. So you could overcharge your system, and then your compressor, that pressure switch we talked about on the system, could shut the system off.
Yep.
So it's very important to get the exact amount of Freon in the system. So we use a scale to make sure that we get the exact amount into the system. We closed our valves. We've been for 5 minutes. We haven't moved. We're still at like 27, so we're good there. So we're going to transfer her over to our tank now. And I've got my tank here. Freon. Okay, so my valves are both closed at this point, so I didn't lose anything. So now I can open up my Freon tank. Yeah. We're going to go up onto the scale. And I'm going to turn the scale on. Okay, so it's zeroed out. Okay, we want to make sure that we zero the scale out, wait for it to stop fluctuating around. So now we can open up our valve here, and we're going to watch our scale numbers to go to 1 pound and 1.69 pounds.
That'll charge the system, Steve?
That's going to charge the system. So let's go here and let's watch our gauge. Now the vacuum is sucking the Freon in here. So we're looking for 1.69. Now if once it stops taking Freon in, we're going to have Brian start the car and put the AC on, and as the compressor is circulating, and it's going to draw the rest of the Freon into the system. We may get, close to a pound in here, a little more than a pound, and that's going to allow the compressor to cycle off. So we're slowing down right now at 9 ounces. So we're gonna have Brian fired off. Brian, start the car up, put the AC on max, please.
Hey, Jackwagon, get in.
Hey, my last name's not Wagon, and my first name's not Jack.
So we've got nothing in the way of the pulleys here, so we're good. Brian's shoehorning himself in. Go ahead. Hey, see how fast it's sucking in now? So once we get to 16, that'll be 1 pound, and we're looking for 1.69. So we're 3/4 of a pound in there. We're coming up on a pound of Freon, so it's 15. 1. Okay, we're at 1.3, 1.4, and 5. All right, I'm going to stop this for a sec and let it stabilize. We're at 1.67, and we're pretty much as close as we're going to get. So I don't like I usually leave it just a hair underneath of what the max is. You don't want to put too much pressure on your compressor and all of that. So we've got 1 pound, 6.2 ounces. It's calling for 1 pound, 6.9 ounces. So we're very close. We're going to let it stabilize and see what we got. Now if you look at our gauges here, right? So we said we should be around 170 pounds on the high side because we're about 70 degrees in here, 67 degrees. And then there's your low side right now is at about 32 pounds. So if it was super hot outside today and humid, this high side would skyrocket. And if it goes too high, if you overcharge it with one of those cans from the auto parts store, then it's going to go up so high it's going to disconnect. It'll shut the compressor off on you. So we're at 1.60, and just because it's Brian and he's anal about everything, I'm going to squeak in just a whisker more for him. Remember what my guarantee is, Brian?
Yep.
Okay, so we're at 1.69, 0.68, so you're not going to get any closer than that. So, this set of gauges cost me $75.
Yeah.
You know, the Freon tank goes up every year. You know what I mean? I've got my license together, but it gets expensive. But Brian's really paying for that, right? Okay, so I'm happy with my pressure. Brian, how cold is it?
Is it cold? Remember Steve's guarantee. If your nipples aren't hard, you don't pay.
I'm not paying.
You're not paying?
I'm not paying. I don't know, you feel it. What do you
I think it's pretty cold.
Are you impressed?
Yeah.
The right vent is always the coldest. Get it on
Oh,
max.
so we put it on the left one.
Okay, so you want to
61.60 degrees.
we're trying to get into high 40s.
It's going down. Well, you're holding it 9 million miles away, jackass.
So our pressures are perfect, so we're good on that end.
Freaking Carla.
The middle one might be the coldest on this one. The evaporator is kind of in the middle of the car. You got it on bi-level blowing?
Down to 50.
Down to 50?
I always like to hit 46, you know.
Yeah.
But as you would race up the car and get a little more flow, it's going to drop. And right now, we're circulating oil and Freon in the system.
Yep.
'Cause we had that cup of oil that we just put in. So it's going to run and stabilize, and it's going to be colder. So I'm comfortable where it is right now. I'm sure it's fine.
Hey.
Shut it off.
So our low side line right here is cold, and that's what we want. So, and we're at, what are you at? 45. Okay,
So you good at 45?
My nipples aren't hard.
You're paying.
so our belt's good, and the compressor's all on. We did not have to loosen this bolt to get the windshield washer tank moved. We were able to get the line off when we put the oil in. So we're just gonna roll our cover back into place right now. And this trim going on like this.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, it sits in like that. And we're gonna try and get a couple of these big push plugs back in first to kind of hold it into place. Get that one there. We got 3 of them. One here, one here. And I got one over here. Okay, get that one in there. Okay, so let's get our little screws back in place now. So we're gonna push up on that thing and
Accident.
we'll catch these
And that's the new
screws by hand.
It's an abandoned vehicle.
80,000 miles we got off the first set of these tires. So I bought the same exact ones again.
80,000 miles. Yeah. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of miles.
So I'm like, how do I not buy the same ones?
Yeah.
You got one screw that's a little different.
Let me see.
These all have washers on them. Must be one from the bottom. That's got a washer. I got 2 left. They go underneath here. And one of them's, it's this one over here.
On the bottom?
Yeah.
Where'd that one go? Over there.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna tighten them up. I'll make sure this lip looks good because we're tightening it up. We'll get these 2 here. Throw the tire on and get it up and get the cover underneath.
I go to YouTube now, so I want to do something and have
So just putting back the splash guard back up.
You don't want to run them in too
I
tight because
know.
they're plastic.
Yeah.
They'll end up stripping out on you guys. Kind of cheesy.
know on cable.
That's why we've got the front ones. We got Phillips screws in the front.
So who left off of them? Basically, we now.
Okay.
Oh, you have two. This is the one that's.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this, so this is my main. Can I
So Brian's gonna wrap up finishing up putting in that splash guard. That's pretty much it, guys. If you have a question, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the video. Let me know you subscribed. I'll reply back to your comment. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.